Hi, I'm Tom Garrity with Compass Point, where we specialize in family businesses, and welcome to Conversations at Family Biz Matters. I want to talk about a term in the family business circles that we call the Cousin Federation. So when you start a family business, we call that G1, that first generation, we call that the entrepreneurial generation, right? That's where you have somebody has a vision, has a passion of something that they want to take to the marketplace, and they do everything they can to take their idea and successfully launch a business. And if they're successful and they've built a business that's producing predictable and repeatable results, and have built a strong leadership team and built a good customer base, good competitive advantage, they've got a business that's transferable. And they get it to G2, which we call the sibling generation, right? It's the kids of that first generation of mom and dad. It gets more complicated. We've got more families involved. We've got more owners involved. We still have G1 involved likely in the business and are working on transitioning them out. And then we go to the third generation, which we call the Cousin Federation. So all those G2ers, however many there were in the sibling federation, in the sibling generation, now have gone and had kids, and now those kids are cousins, are in the third generation, the Cousin Federation. Very complicated, right? We all know in family that families are different. And as you start spreading out the tree, some of the values begin to change, religious preferences, political preferences, biases, all sorts of things around who we are in our own family units. That makes it very complicated. And if we haven't built any governance at some point in the business about who gets to come into the family business, and you get to third generation and every cousin can come in because they have the last name, that business is not sustainable. It can't feed all of those mouths. So you've heard me talk about slow down to speed up. You need to slow down at times and do the right things to prepare your business to launch to the next growth pattern, to get to the next generation. One of the things you need to start in the end of G1 or maybe for sure in G2 is start to build some family governance. Things like a family constitution that outline, why do we exist as a family business and what are our core values as a family? Who gets to come to work for the family business? Do you get in just because of your last name, or do you actually have to be competent? Does there need to be a job opening? Do you come in under the salary structure that everybody else works for in this business? It all sounds like common sense now, but families don't do this work, and they end up with a mess because they've got a bunch of privilege going on, and the next generation, third generation, is watching G2, or G2 doesn't know how to do it any differently, won't make those hard calls, or begins to make hard calls in G3, but everybody's like, well, that's not the way it used to be. Slow down, build that governance, so everybody knows the ground rules. So when G3 comes, they know, no, you have to be competent. There has to be a job opening. This is the salary range for the job. This place isn't a piggy bank. You don't just get everything. Just like every other employee here, we have rules about how we act and behave as employees. We have compensation and benefit packages and policies, and family members have to abide by them, just like everybody else. Slow down, build governance, build some structure into your family business. That governance is how the family interacts with the business and how the business interacts with the family. Incredibly powerful. Things like a board of directors, and not just a board of family members and maybe a couple of key employees, but outside directors, professionals that can come in and make connections in the marketplace, are smart and can help you with some of the specific nuances in your business where you maybe need some help or just some more expertise. And they can give third-party perspective and call things out that family members have a hard time doing with one another. But they can and they will. And the right ones are going to be a huge advantage for your business. Build a family council where you have a meeting place where all the members of the family, or of a certain age, for instance, can come together, learn about the family business, understand some opportunities, kind of keeping everybody connected. Leverage that closeness and that unity of the family and continue to build those connections, being transparent. And it doesn't mean you have to share everything, but so people have an understanding of what we've got as a family business, and that if we don't take care of it, we're going to kill the goose, right? Don't kill the goose. Don't kill the goose that's laying the golden eggs. Take care of your family business. Start building some governance in it, And I guarantee it's going to help you successfully move through the entrepreneurial generation to the sibling generation to the cousin federation. There's an old adage, shirt sleeves to shirt sleeves in 3 generations. Right? You have the entrepreneur who's busting his or her tail or their tails to make this thing work, hardly with anything. And if they pull it off, they successfully build this business. They've built some wealth in their lives and in the business. And they move it on to G2. And if we haven't done a good job of helping G2 be successful, teaching them about the business, teaching them to be good stewards of the family business and of the wealth of the business. That's why only 33% make it to G3 or G2. And then only 12% make it to G3 because we haven't done all those things and we have all these other additional family members involved. Don't let that happen. Don't go from shirt sleeves to shirt sleeves in 3 generations. Build the governance, protect your family business, protect the goose, make sure it keeps laying golden eggs. If you like what you heard, check out our website, compasspt.com. Lots of videos and blogs, best practices of family businesses that successfully move their family businesses through these multi-generations. If you like what you heard, make a comment below. If you've done some governance work, tell me about it. I'll be glad to respond and share it with the community. Thanks for joining. Bye.